JC Latham sits down with us now on
yes,
104.5 The Zone. You grilling Kirby about the tent material that we got you under there? What's going on over here?
No. He said the tent was red when it's orange. And yeah, so, I don't know,
Are you crazy? That tent ain't orange.
Oh, you for real?
This tent is not orange.
It's a faded red.
This is a faded. Oh, y'all colorblind.
It's sun-kissed red.
Oh, y'all colorblind.
Because it's seen so much action.
No.
Being out here in the sun that it's just faded a little
Brad,
bit.
don't say that. This is a new tent, all right? It's not faded. They just got this damn tent.
It's certainly not orange.
It's 1,000,000%. We got red on the jerseys. They don't even look the same.
I didn't realize that
It's definitely, it is definitely closer to orange than it is red, Brad.
He played at Alabama. He knows the difference between red and orange.
Yeah, I got red on.
Kirby says
this
it's
doesn't
orange.
look like this.
Kirby says it's orange. It's orange.
I need you to be the decider, all right? Because I'm tired of this Texas-Tennessee crap about who's the real UT. They're both in the SEC now. I need an objective opinion here. Can you please put this to bed? I went to Indiana. I got no dog in the fight, all right? Sweat was over here with us yesterday and chopping it up, and the two of them could not decide between themselves who was the real UT.
I'm not going to lie.
You kind of are the perfect person to decide this.
I got to go with Texas.
Oh!
Yeah, I got to go with Texas. When someone say you play at UT, I don't think of Tennessee.
Don't think of Tennessee.
Oh, my goodness.
How does that feel, Lucas, Tennessee alum? He doesn't even think about you at all.
Shattered is the word. Shattered is the word.
You say we got UT. You could put a poll out. You ask, who got UT, and everybody will think it's Texas.
In fact, we have.
Let's put a poll up.
We have
this
the tools
audience.
That's also regional, though. That's regional because if you ask people that are in Austin, it's UT, Texas. If you ask people in Knoxville, UT is Tennessee.
Yeah.
Now, you have to ask somebody in California or New York.
If they know them, they're going to say Texas.
Right.
I feel like Texas is just a bigger school, you know what I'm saying? It had a lot more to it. So.
What about in Florida?
He's very fragile. You've already broken his confidence.
Yeah, you're playing at IMG Academy. UT is still Texas to people in Florida.
I think we still call it, when I was in high school, we called UT Texas. Yeah.
He is devastated.
Like when you got an offer from Tennessee, you said Tennessee. When you got an offer from Texas, you said UT.
That one hurt. Yeah. That one hurt, JC.
JC Latham, the decider in these things. So practice just concluded. You guys have had, what is this, 6 straight padded practices?
I don't know. All the days blended in together.
Truly. So we talked to Sweat about this yesterday. Rookie year, your head's got to be swimming on so many different things, but you seem to have managed all of it well. And it's not like you haven't done football practice before. Yeah. Some of this stuff is routine, even if largely the whole situation is new. What's been kind of the balance for you in keeping your head on straight?
Yeah, just talking to guys in the NFL when I was in college, I feel like having that jump start definitely helped. And everybody said depending on, what program and team you're with, different teams have, different ways of going about how they do things. So, as soon as I got drafted, one of the big things for me was getting the playbook right away. I hear, you hear rumors about how long NFL play calls are, how there's so many different plays in. So, it's like our GM told us, Coach Rand, he said, if you're driving to my house and I'm driving to my house, I'll beat you to my house because I know how to get there. You got to look at the GPS and figure out which is what's what, but I know it by heart because I've done it so many times. So, if you master the playbook by heart and you know the playbook by heart, you can just go out and play. And if that's the quickest way for me to just go out and play, then that's what I knew I had to do. So as soon as I got drafted, getting that playbook and diving deep into that, and you're going to make mistakes, but make the mistakes and learn from it. So that was definitely the biggest learning curve for me.
I know other schools put guys into the pros, but for you to just be able to pick up the phone and call any number of Alabama players that have played for any number of NFL franchises, what an incredible resource for you, and all of those guys who go through that.
Yeah, program. It's a extremely blessed opportunity. I talked to Bryce Young, Jahmyr Gibbs, Cameron Latu. He plays with the 49ers. Just talk to them all and get different perspectives. Will Anderson. All of those guys, and just be like, hey, what's it like over there, or what's it like here, or how's it when you get into practice, or what to expect here through this phase, and all of them gave me great advice and sound advice to how to just come in and be successful from day one.
JC Latham hanging out here with us on 104.5 The Zone.
Yeah, you speak of some guys that I actually played against. Will Anderson's a really good friend of mine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I was looking at you during one-on-ones, and I stepped back, and I nudged Lucas, and I said, sometimes I forget that he's actually getting himself adjusted to playing left tackle. It seems very fluid for you. Yeah. I guess guys with your ability, obviously that size, it speaks for itself. But just how has that transition been for you, to exclusively work out at left?
Yeah, it's been unique. But, when you're in the position that I'm in, it's not an excuse that you can kind of lean on. You don't want to lean on any excuses at all. So I knew, what was expected of me as soon as, I got the phone call. So, from day one, I'm talking to, we got Coach Kyle, the greatest offensive line coach in the NFL and probably ever, So just talking to him about what I need to do to be great. How can I make this transition seamlessly and, do everything that I can do to basically, be in the best position to win.
It's something about how Bill makes you feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone that's mentoring you. Because if you think about this, it's been 20 years since I was on that field. Yeah. And that was the guy that coached me in one of my Pro Bowls. And I remember him and his instruction like it was just yesterday.
He's so intricate with everything that you do. I mean, every little thing, even if you win, he'll tell you like, hey, you won here, but, you could get a better handle on. You can use your hands a little bit better. You can sit a little bit better, do this a little bit better. And then, some coaches, and I'm not trying to like take a notch on anybody, but they'll be okay with, winning the rep. You won, all right, cool. But, all the great coaches, they try to critique you like, hey, if you were playing against, Nick Bosa, is this going to win? Is going to win the rep, and that's how he coaches it. So, if you're doing what you do now and he knows that that's going to win the rep against him, great, be consistent with it. But if he knows like, hey, you're only winning because of the talent across from you isn't the peak talent that you're going to see pretty soon. So, let's try to get it corrected.
JC, what's the biggest adjustment that you've seen so far coming from playing collegiately to what you're doing now professionally?
Really, it's two things. The counters, that's definitely one thing that, in college you don't really see that a lot. You'll see even like with a guy like Dallas Turner, he's an amazing pass rusher, but he had like 1 to 2, maybe 3 moves that he might work in pass pro. In the NFL, everybody has like 5 to 6 moves. Like they're going, back and forth with everything. So it's like I remember one day I got hit with a cross chop to a bull. I think then he turned it into a rip and then a spin move. So I'm just like, I'm like, you're always trying to stay out. And that was just one play. So that's a really big thing.
See, but you didn't hear there. He shut down 3 other moves. The guy had to go to his 4th move to get there. So
I heard was, oh my God, what is this person doing to you? This all sounds terrible.
He quietly bragged on himself is what he did. Yes, he did. The guy came at me with the whoosh, and I came out with the whoosh. So yeah.
Anyway. Brad, we talk so much about geography mattering at this level, like where guys land in the NFL and who they land with, right? And you're speaking to the level of the coaching that you're getting. Like, you're always confident in whatever it is that you're doing as a professional athlete, but how much more do you feel that because you've got a support system like Bill Callahan in place that not that many other rookies have at their disposal?
I really think I'm blessed. I knew everybody would have a question if I could play left. So not only do I have, Coach Bill Callahan, I have Brian Callahan as a head coach. And, just both of those guys, wanting to be successful within their own rights. They're uplifting the team. They're emphasizing the importance of cadence and different cadences, mixing it up to keep the defense on their toes, the different types of things that we do as an offense. So it's not too bland, it's not too basic. And then, Coach, my position coach, Coach Callahan, just being intricate, as I said earlier, with every little thing. So it's like, it's not like you're just being thrown to the wolves out there. You're going in with a large tools and a lot of different things at your disposal that you can use to be successful. So,
game week, you ready?
Absolutely, yeah.
How was the environment at Nissan Stadium for the open practice for you? Because it's your first time really getting to meet a lot of Titans fans. Obviously, they've had some people out here at practice, but that was your first, it seemed like, wide-scale exposure, and I don't think anybody looked like they were having as much fun with the fans as you were running up and down and trying to get them hype and get them into the action.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I can already tell the stadium's going to be packed, and they're going to be, the fans in the community here is going to be, ride or die for us. And, we're going to give everything that we have for them. So I'm already really excited for it, and, just being there for my first time. I think that was my second time ever being to like an NFL stadium, like on the field and stuff. So, that was a really, really big opportunity for me.
I can see the confidence starting to grow in you. You were kind of quiet when you first came here. When Ram brought you over to me, I just saw this like big kid coming my way, But then I saw your face change, and when we were dialoguing, you really were absorbing what I was telling you, which was cool. But I see you out there now getting into scruffs a little bit with the veterans, like Big Jeff, standing up for yourself, dapping your boys up before team drills and things like that.
Yes,
I mean, am I wrong in what I'm seeing? It sounds like you're getting your footing. It sounds like you're getting more comfortable where you are.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, as I said, I was brought in for a reason, and just talking to Will Anderson about, everybody down there was saying how much of a leader he is and how much of the guys there respect him, and I had a conversation. I'm like, hey, I know you play defense and all, and I'm going to go against you eventually, but, we got a brotherhood from going to Alabama. Like, what's the ways that you became a leader on your team? And, you know, he just told me just every single day go out there and just give it your all and give it 110%. And, you know, he was really, really big on, like, a match me type of energy. You know, like when we was at Alabama, he'd tell the guys, like, hey, like, if the practice is dipping, like, match my energy because I'll always go 110%. And that's what Will would say, you know. So, you know, being here, obviously there's going to be bumps in the road. But, you know, if you trying to keep that mentality going and keep it at a high rate, you know, it's, you know, guys are going to want to match that, you know, and guys are going to keep that up.
So we can't keep you here forever, and Lucas has sacrificed being able to ask you a few questions so I could sit here and just kind of dialogue with you. So he did bring to attention the fact that you like to cook.
Yeah.
So I got to hear about this, man. What's your dish? What is
I'm basic right now.
I've seen it on Instagram. It looks gourmet.
Yeah, no, it is pretty good. I made a hot honey jerk chicken over mashed potatoes, with some asparagus on the side. But yeah, I mean, I'm just now getting into it. You know, I was actually talking to one of the O-line coaches, Matt Jonesy, last night because I went to the calf. I'm really when I cook, like I'm in it. Like I got the hairnet on, the apron, and I just got the gloves from the calf here, so I can I can really get into my food, not have to worry about my hands or nothing like that. And you know, Coach Jonesy saw me with the gloves, and he's like, "Why you got the gloves?" And we started sparking up a conversation about cooking. And you know, he is a next level chef. Like he makes sausage bread, and you know, like he made 3-2-1 ribs. Like, so he's next level. But you know, now that I'm in my profession now, where I'm gonna have off time, I'm definitely diving a lot deeper into this cooking portion.
Last thing, I was also telling Lucas that you don't wear gloves.
Nah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
explain to the uninitiated, Brad, why that's so important.
Well, if you've known me, you know that I broke my hand several times. That's the first point of contact that offensive linemen have. Yeah. So you try and wear some measure of protection, right? For me, it was linebacker gloves because they have a little padding over the knuckle, but they're pliable enough for you to get a good grip while you're inside. Not the big oven mitts that most linemen wear. This dude don't wear gloves at all, and he doesn't tape his wrists.
Yeah,
Bears do that. So I'm just wondering if you're going to tape your wrists or hands during the game.
Nah, the only time you'll see I wear tape, you know, occasionally you'll get, you know, your hands under somebody's pads or whatever, and you'll get like really bad cuts and bleed. That's the only time I'll ever, you know, tape that area so they don't take me out the game. Or, you know, a couple times where the bleeding didn't stop, we had to get one of those things that like you crack open to kind of freeze the blood or whatever. But until then, I'll wear a glove. So you might see me with one glove on. But no, I don't like wearing gloves. I forget what it's called, but you know, when the human body and your hands, when those wrinkles start to form in your hands, that's your skin getting adaptive to like wet surfaces, being able to grip wet surfaces. So I never played with gloves ever since I learned about that.
Quick story, I played a couple of games with a cast on my hand, right? Mm-hmm. So when you go out to pregame, you have to have a measure of protection over the cast so you don't cause injury to people, right? So you have to put these big pads over the cast. Okay. Just was real bulky. So what I would do is after the officials came and checked my pad, when I go back into the locker room, I cut the pad off and put little skinny ankle pads on there. And I was using that thing like a weapon. Boy. I felt like I was in medieval times, just whopping dudes out there, macing people in the head. It's so fun.
Yeah.
So going back to kind of like working against your teammates and stuff like that, and the defense in particular, like Sweat and Jeff are obviously a problem for anybody who's going to go up against them. And the way that you guys have kind of had that controlled aggression, since, you know, things may have gotten a little too hot on the first day of padded practice, it's been noticeable that, maybe there'll be some talking, some pushing and shoving after the play or whatever, but for the most part, you guys have been able to get back to business and keep the thing rolling.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, Jeff is the best defensive tackle in the game, you know, and we're going to compete, you know, being a guy of my caliber, especially with my background, you know, I'm always going to want to show up and compete, and especially playing in the, you know, trenches is going to get chippy, you know. I mean, you're 100% and they're 100%, you're hitting somebody, you know, so somebody might not like how they were hit, you know, and they might voice that, and they might start talking, you know, so things might get chirpy, things might get physical, but, you know, it's just the nature of the beast and it's part of the game. So, you know, just being out there and just competing every single day is just what I look forward to the best.
I gave Bert my phone, otherwise I'd show you this picture, but there is a picture of the first day that you and Will met, and I don't think I've ever seen a human being happier to see who was going to be on his blind side than when you two guys got together. He's obviously, you know, attracted the crowd down there signing autographs. How have you guys enjoyed the working dynamic between you and the offensive line, you and Will, and how he's kind of managed the whole situation? What can you tell the audience who hasn't been able to see it out here for themselves?
You know, I think he's done a great job. You know, I mean, obviously, he's played in a couple games last year, and you know, he has some experience. But we're all kind of young. You know, we don't have a ton of I don't have any, but you know, we all as a collective don't have a ton of experience, especially together. So, we'll all make our mistakes, and we'll all learn from it. But he's trying to be he's not trying to be. He is the leader of the offense, and he'll get us rallied together, and he'll let us know like, hey, we're slooping right here. We got to pick it up, and he'll let us know like, hey, we're doing good. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep going, But that man, he's 100% committed, and he's 100% all in and bought into the success of the team.
You're going to participate in the interview, or are you just going to cower there in shame since he told you you're not the real UT?
There's a thing, though, JC. We have to let Buck have his shine and his spotlight for the first portion. It's like when you have a little kid and he's being bad and you take his favorite toy away and he starts screeching and crying. You just give it to him back just to shut him up. So that's what we do.
I'm the kid. Give me the iPad.
Yeah.
Just
so he's got his iPad back. This is the fun part. Speed around with JC Latham. Jackson, terrible game show music, please.
Let's do it.
So you've been through a couple different transitions in your career. More difficult transition to learn: D-line to O-line or right tackle to left tackle?
D-line to O-line, 100%. Yeah.
Why is that?
It's the game's completely different intangibles. D-line, you can literally just tee off on somebody and, you'll be considered that was a good play. You can get 1 sack in the game, that's good. O-line, you have to be consistent on every single play. You play 75 plays and you give up 1 sack out of 75. It's a bad game. D-line, you play 75 or 60 plays, you get 1 sack, it's a great game. Yeah. So definitely D-line, O-line.
One of the first new things that you learned about offensive line play under Bill Callahan?
The handles, the strike system. He has a very intricate strike system that he goes about everything, about how to attack everything and all the different looks. And, if you utilize it, you'll win pretty much every rep. So.
Pass rusher on the schedule that you're most excited to go up. I knew you were going to say that. I knew it was going to be Will Anderson.
Why'd you ask the question?
Just to confirm. You have a very interesting background, and there's an alternate universe where you're an actor.
Okay.
Can you tell us about this experience and what kind of actor you would be?
That makes sense.
So you want to know what's crazy, right? So I was in 4th grade, right? And I only played football for a year, basketball, all that stuff. But I had this major crush on Zendaya. And at the time, she was on a show called Shake It Up on Disney, right? So they came to – I was in Milwaukee at the time. The Disney crew or whatever came to Milwaukee. They were hosting auditions. And, I was nervous, but, I did it. And then they said, hey, we're going to call you back for the second call. So they called me back on the second call, and, I did good. And they're like, hey, we're going to do the final call. You're invited to the final call. You did great. So come Sunday, and, we'll let you know what you got to do. Come Sunday, I do really good, and they told me they actually wanted me to be a part of, like, the show, the Shake It Up show. So I'm like, okay,
this is it.
Yeah, this is. I can meet Zendaya and all this stuff. Yeah, so I was really giddy about that, And then my parents were like, hey, so you're gonna have to stop playing football if you want to be an actor. Now I'm in 4th grade, so I'm like, Zendaya or football. it's kind of a clear choice. And then I wasn't financially, we weren't financially ready for that when they had told us about the travel and the online school and all that other stuff, the acting classes and stuff. So they were like, hey, let's just let's double back to this down the road if you want, and stick with football. So I think I made a pretty good choice.
It worked out.
Yeah, I think there is a world out there where I am an actor.
Yeah. So. Let's make that Zendaya thing happen.
All we need to do is get him to a match at Wimbledon or something like that. Yeah. She's a big tennis fan.
Okay.
The Olympics.
Last one. We're in an alternate universe where JC Latham is the commissioner of college football. So I know your last college football game, the Rose Bowl.
Did you forget about the music back there?
College football playoff semifinal against Michigan, who obviously goes on to win the national championship. Lots going on with Michigan. Harbaugh, 4-year show cause, sign stealing allegations, all of those things. So, Commissioner J.C. Latham, what do we do with Michigan football?
We're stripping the title.
Stripping that title.
Stripping the title.
Do we replay the game then? How does that work?
We're stripping the title. At this point right now, we're stripping it. But if it was like a situation back then, I wouldn't have let it get that far. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got into the now, granted, they did great. They beat us, went on to win, so none but respect. But if I was the commissioner, especially at the time, I would handle the situation before it even, what was the result before the playoffs even started. So.
Let's just disband the whole program while we're at it. That's the speed round with J.C. Latham.
Lawan says there's no collusion with Michigan, but apparently the NCAA has found
feels otherwise.
Something else. J.C., I appreciate your time as always. Thanks for hanging out with us. Continued health and success.
Thank you.
Keep it going here from training camp. You'll hear from Brian Callahan coming up next. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone.